Well, hello and welcome to the first video on the Jack Hicko channel instead of the Mark Secunda channel. Before I go into the real reason for today's video, which is addressing a comment about Dun Ringill, I just thought I'd show you around the house. Okay, over here we have the fireplace. Here we have actually my 4-track analog recorder. Yes, I live in the past. My 12-channel mixer. Hiding down here is the oldest guitar I own. If we look very carefully, you can see my mandolin down here. Over here is the iMac where I compress and transfer all the videos up to the YouTube. And here's my media converter and VCR where I transfer all of my older recordings to a digital format. Here's some guitars that you don't see too often in the videos. There's my electric guitars and this one, which I'm surprised I don't use in any of the videos. Here's the television I use for my Xbox, my PlayStation, and my Nintendo 64. Yes, I really live in the past. And here is the computer I use for my eBay business. In case you didn't know, I have this big eBay business, stores.ebay.com/HickoWorld, where I sell pretty much everything I own after I'm done with it. Anyway, if we look up here, we can see that we have Dun Ringill displayed, and the comment, "Your strumming timing in the verses is off." Well, you know, I am 51 years old, so maybe I have lost my mind. In fact, maybe I'm just running around naked for all I know, so we're going to test that little hypothesis and see if maybe the strumming timing is off. So we're going to apply a little scientific method and determine the truth of that once and for all. Back to the eBay store for just a moment. Recently I bought this X-Files 7th season. Cost me $30. I watched it one time. I knocked $10 off. Somebody just bought this. Somebody's getting this entire season for $19.99, and it could have been you. Here's another just television for reviewing some stuff. Actually, here's the single malt scotch department. One is missing. Yes, the Macallan Cask Strength. Not even sure you can see that here. There it is, Macallan Cask Strength. Let's just put that right back up there. Here's the, you're going to think this is ridiculous. This is the guitar I've used in almost every single video I've done. And until last night, it actually had the same strings from a salamander. Okay, heading into the little back room here, we can see basically the stockpile of things I sell on eBay. We can also see, I guess we'll call that the makeup department. If you've read my channel, you know I'm also a makeup artist. And more things to sell, guitars and so on. Hiding down underneath all these clothes are more guitars and my bass, and a bunch of DVDs and lots of videotapes and, oh, sorry about that. And lots of media up there. In fact, there's an entire book of discs of Jethro Tull. This is my bedroom here, and this little table right here is normally where I sit to record most of the videos. Normally I have this light shining on my head, camera right here, kind of looking at me here. And here's the bed. A couple more televisions, another internet computer, and internet computer right over here, because we're going to address that Dun Ringill thing. But let me just throw in a quick little advertisement, because currently on eBay I have this Jethro Tull Slipstream from Brazil for $19.99, and I highly recommend you go online and buy this right now, because this is great, and it actually features Jethro Tull performing Dun Ringill, as well as Filing Dale Flyer and a bunch of other good songs. Also, I broke up my set of 20 years of Jethro Tull, and I do currently have listed the Radio Archives and Rare Tracks disc from that set. And those of you who are familiar with the record business know that this is the only out-of-print Jethro Tull album. Also, you can see that I love the character Digger. Here he is here. There's his bobblehead. There's his paperclip holder. And there's his pen holder. Anyway, that's about everything there. Let me just adjust the camera, and I'll be back in a moment. Anyway, hope this is in tune. Let's just see what the deal is here.
Snaps at the heels and a soft crack. Live life on a slip on as a misty of the day. Slip the knife of shame, take the mark from the all twine and iron.
So much for that comment. Anyway, my guess is that this is a guy who hasn't heard the actual record and isn't familiar with the unusual cross-picking technique of Ian Anderson, and maybe expects the song to have a strum like clear light on a silicone. But it don't go that way. It goes like this. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this tour of the House of Hicko, and this new channel, by the way, I created because the Mark Secunda channel, by the way, Mark Secunda was a very close friend of mine who killed himself 20 years ago, and to keep his name alive, I went up to the YouTube thing and posted a little salamander video, and who would have expected all of this? And now I'm like 2 days from my 100,000 view, and that just seems so surreal to me. Anyway, so now I've created a new account with Jack Hicko because I have, you saw the equipment over there, I have many, many, many hours of audio recordings, and so I'm going to put those on the Jack Hicko channel with some kind of interesting video if I can come up with anything, and I'll save those little acoustic things for the Mark Secunda channel. Okay, so my next video, Roxy Music, Out of the Blue, and you know, I'm still working on that Paradise Steakhouse, and I'm not going to do Thick as a Brick and Nursey because everybody else is doing those, and all right, just this tiny little bit. Can't even play it. Really don't mind if you sit this one out. My words by a whisper, your deafness a shout. Spin back down the years and the decades of my youth. All the lace and black curtain and shut out the whole truth. When they come along, just let them sing a song. That's it. Good night.